Btooom was an anime that aired in late 2012, of course being originally sourced from its manga adaptation. Consisting of 12 episodes, we begin to dive into a battle royale anime where a number of people are stranded on what seems to be a deserted island, fighting for their lives for survival. However, the conditions seem way too similar. In fact, our main character Ryouta Sakamoto was a video game pro in an online PvP game called Btooom, which coincidentally seemed to be a battle royale in a distant remote place as well. Putting 2 and 2 together and coming out with a total of 7, we understand that this island is a replica of the video game, where we test if game skills can be carried over to the real world. Now before I get on with the video, I just want to say thank you for the continuous support from those that keep sharing appreciation for my terrible videos, and I implore you to subscribe and like the video. If you don't, I'm gonna be forced to spoil the ending of your favorite anime when you least expect it. So save yourself the trouble and just like and share. Maybe subscribe. Get comfortable. It's all yours. Uncovering what seems to be a stranded love story destined to bloom out of forced entrapment reminds me of something similar to Stockholm Syndrome, but not exactly the same situation. We begin to find our main character trapped with an unfortunate anime trope, which is a female damsel in distress by the name of Himiko. Himiko is a typical damsel in this situation, lacking courage, ambition, will to survive, but upon meeting the protagonist Ryouta, she begins to find the will to carry on as long as it's with him. I would more than definitely say that this is a massively overused plot within TV shows, movies, and anime, and seems heavily predictable. Regardless of that nature, the unworldly occurrences that appear before us seem to be the bigger entertaining factor. How did these people become stranded here? Why are they all fighting to the death? Why is it based on a video game? And why are they all limited to using grenades and bombs? These questions that build up the same curious nature that made you click on my video is the same feeling that powers you to watch the anime. Curiosity. Now it sounds like I'm not selling the anime so far, but I'll tell you it's really good. I just wanted to point out the bland taste that was stuck on my tongue every time I imagined myself describing the show. One of the highlights for me is that the characters are quite personable. They feel very real and authentic in terms of character archetypes, dealing with selfish desires that we too would do in similar situations, possibly. Displaying how human behaviors changes almost instantaneously when we are more than certain we will not survive a certain situation. The demeanor to stay a moral human being diminishes the moment you are put in a scenario where you know that there are more experienced killers amongst you and you possibly have no chance of survival. Therefore, why not commit all the crimes possible that you've always wanted to, especially if you're a virgin? Hint, hint. Which leads to my next point. The crude nature of sexual desire is almost seen within every episode, sometimes tackling the taboo subject of rape and making a clear example of it. Without spoiling, I can mention that the cast of almost 10 men and 2 women, you can kind of assume that the worst will come, or at least an attempt of. This added layer of grit and filth makes you curious to why something may happen and if people are really that disgusting, and also questions the viewer to say, what would you do in this situation? It's an anime that for face value tackles the idea of battle royale survival of the fittest type trope, but has a bigger picture in mind, which is morality and ethics. This is a philosophy that is quite acute within anime and only ever made a theme of for a brief amount of time. But a show that continuously challenges the way I think and allows me to put myself out of where I am for a few minutes is a show I think is worth the watch. When you sit there not thinking about the flaws of an anime, but rather understanding the hidden atrocities of the world and start to understand where these things occur, it makes you feel as if you're a part of something bigger. It's quite funny actually, because this show is in a micro-narrative setting intended for youths, and bad people being clumped together, and how those social groups click, but accidentally became a macro narrative story, which is the social understanding that crimes are bad no matter the situation, and no situation can make them excusable, right? Nonetheless, the story definitely thickens and even has a sense of etchiness, making it equally hard to watch on the eyes as it is for the heart. The director, Watanabe Kotono, for the public's knowledge, is female, and I'm unsure of her intentions, but I think it's clear that she wanted to capture the essence of our chaotic nature as human beings, and I think it's done quite good. It does feel like a slight feminist anime trying to bring awareness, but it also has a great way of pulling out the story with the scenes she decided to direct, considering that the manga was originally made by a man, and she, as a woman, had the chance to do something bigger than herself and worked on it pretty well, bringing awareness to the idea of rape and feminine stereotypes. Moreover, the soundtrack to top off such a pivotal anime in 2012 is none other than by the artist Nano. Nano is probably a queen when it comes to anime soundtracks, being the lead opener for dozens of anime, especially in that era of anime. I wouldn't say that she is as popular now as she was back then, but has definitely left a massive mark in the anime J-pop world, and probably has boosted the anime Btooom higher with its iconic music. Sorry for my boring videos as usual, but if you made it this far, thank you so much. But that pretty much sums up everything. I've been NAISU, thanks for watching, and peace out.